Before I introduce our speaker, I'd like to provide a few comments regarding space. And I'm reminded of Calvin and Hobbes. Anyone ever read Calvin and Hobbes? Okay, we're aging ourselves. I noticed the 3 PLC students over there keeping their hands down. They were probably reading science books anyway at that time. But some of us read Calvin and Hobbes. And there's one of the comic strips, and in this particular one, you see them staring up in space together. And they're in a big field, and they're deep, deep in thought. And Calvin finally breaks the silence and says, "Sometimes I think the surest sign that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is simply that none of it has ever tried to contact us." We're good at that. Now, I want to make sure we're all inclusive at the Opportunity Coalition. So if any of you feel like you've been visited by alien life forms, feel free to talk to our distinguished speaker at the end. I know he has a few hours to spend with you and walk you through that. So tonight we have the unique opportunity to hear from a champion of Colorado's aerospace and defense industry, retired Major General J. Lindell. His talk is especially fitting to our goals here at the Opportunity Coalition when we recognize the enormously positive impact this particular industry has on Colorado's economy, technology innovation, and our very education. My company, North Star Commercial Partners, had the opportunity to underwrite the ULA launch, and so we paid for a bunch of food and everything, and we went down there. And I was just amazed at the opportunity to go down to Florida and see how many Colorado companies are impacted by these industries in our state. We've got some really cool things going on here. Colorado's aerospace industry ranks second in the nation for private sector aerospace employment, totaling an average of 25,000 people per year. With over 300 million in total exports annually, international communities and allies around the globe rely on our state's products, services, and technology. Colorado is also actively cultivating innovation and commercial space opportunities, developing Spaceport Colorado and pursuing federal designation as a test site for unmanned aerial vehicles. In speaking with Jay just before this event, I learned some really cool things. Centennial, the town that we're in right now. Did you know that Centennial employs more rocket scientists? Now, these are real rocket scientists. It's not like, hey, you're a rocket scientist. Like, they're a rocket scientist. More rocket scientists than any other community, not only in Colorado, but the country, but the world. We have 1,200 rocket scientists in Centennial alone. Yeah. Now, I know when sometimes you might go to a fast food restaurant, you might not be encountering one of those at the order counter, but there are rocket scientists out there, real ones. I also learned that my alma mater, CU, receives more funding from NASA than any other college institution in the country. That's pretty neat. And that bodes well for you three. I'm just going to keep going back to you three all night. I mean, I was just so impressed. More than 400 consulting, engineering, manufacturing, and supplier companies provide space-related products and services in Colorado. In the past few years, NASA awarded contracts totaling more than $1.5 billion to Colorado aerospace companies, earning the state a 4th place ranking nationally. 69 Colorado companies have won technology and development commercialization grants since 2001 via NASA's Small Business Innovation Research or Small Business Technology Transfer Program. And a further 193 companies have won similar grants to develop technologies for the Department of Defense. Colorado is at the center of global innovation in aerospace and the space industry, hosting the National Space Symposium annually in Colorado Springs. As we learn and engage more this evening on these subjects, may we be inspired to pursue ideas and actions together that is expansive and miraculous of the space itself. So, with regards to our speaker, Again, here at the Opportunity Coalition, we try to have diverse speakers, people that we can learn from and take away golden nuggets. And tonight, I think you're going to be very impressed with our speaker, assuming that our technology works and all those other wonderful things. With over 33 years of experience in aerospace operations, encompassing a host of impressive titles and achievements, Major General Lindell currently serves as the Colorado Aerospace and Defense Industry Champion, working in the Office of Economic Development and International Trade. There he provides oversight for the implementation of our state's aerospace strategic plan, establishes and maintains positive relationships with the state government officials, legislators, and constituents, and assists with legislation and proposals to help advance the aerospace and defense industry in the state of Colorado. Previously, one of the many positions that he held was that of Capability Director for the Pentagon's Air Force Global Power Acquisition Programs. By the way, I've already asked him about Area 51, so you all don't need to ask him that question. I know the answer now. Can't tell you. He told me. In which he was responsible for directing, planning, and programming for 170 Air Force Joint Service and international programs with a $10 billion annual budget. The retired Major General entered the Air Force in 1978. Thank you again for your service to our country. Following graduation from the U.S. Air Force Academy, and attended undergraduate pilot training at Williams Air Force Base in Arizona. As a command pilot, he logged more than 4,000 flying hours, primarily in the F-11 and F-16 aircrafts. Other operational and staff assignments that he has held include commanding the 35th Fighter Squadron in South Korea and the 27th Operations Group in New Mexico. In addition, he served as Deputy Commanding General in the Combined Air Power Transition Force, Combined Security Transition Command in Afghanistan, and his combat experience includes Operation El Dorado Canyon in 1986 and Operation Desert Storm in 1991.